I was put in foster care at the age of 7, and my biological mom had 5 daughters, and we were all put in different foster homes.
Wow.
My sister and I would be left home alone, and we were eating dog food to survive. There's never been a second option. Like, it's always been like, I got to figure shit out. I would get a call from Kylie Jenner, and then it was Kim, and then it was Selena Gomez. And it was like, what is like fucking happening?
Yeah.
Like, this is insane. We literally just launched in Sephora yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's
oh
amazing.
My gosh, thank you. God is so good. Okay, I'm annoying them, but I know I have the best fucking product out there.
Yeah.
Like, I know that this is where it's supposed to be. I didn't have the perfect childhood. I didn't have any of that.
Or
Everything was
like
or
nothing,
experience. I don't have my MBA. Like, I literally spoke at Harvard, and I'm like, I come from the boondocks. Like, I don't have any, like, you know, other than self-taught and self-made, and I've read and I've learned and I've listened. And so if there's anybody out there that's like, shit, I'm like, you need to do it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Plan Brand Cut, brought to you, sponsored by High Noon, my favorite drink in the world. We have a very, very special guest here today. We have Isabel Alysa, who is amazing. She started her own company. She came from very little, humble beginnings. And I think it's really important to have women in business, entrepreneurs, and just like a powerhouse of a woman on this podcast. I feel like I've had a lot of men on this recent month, and I'm like, I want you on. So for people that don't know who you are, can you just like give us a synopsis?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so honored to be here, and I just feel so lucky. So thank you for having me.
Of course.
Gosh, I guess I can start off with just saying a little bit about myself. A lot of you guys might know me as the face of Dolce Glow and Sunny Bay, which is 2 incredible self-tanning brands. I am also a celebrity spray tan artist. That's kind of where this all started. But prior to that, I was just a little girl in foster care, which is insane.
Insane to see the empire that you've grown. I remember, I think I met you for the first time, like, what was it? 3, 2? Was it?
It was
Sports
a while ago. I want to
Illustrated?
say I want to say at least 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. And I remember I was like, no way I'm getting tanned by you, because you tanned like Miley Cyrus, Nikki Glaser, Selena Gomez. You tan celebrities.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait, is she really going to tan me right now?
Yeah.
And then when I got tanned by you, Dolce Glow, was like, okay, this is my favorite thing in the world. But we got to know each other and talk.
Yeah.
And I got to know that you started in foster care and that you built this empire. So I think for people listening, a lot of people can be discouraged from whatever situation they're in.
Yeah.
I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
And I think your story is just amazing. So I kind of want to start from the beginning
Yeah.
of you and kind of you young. What were you like as a child? And let's like kind of work our way to where we become.
I mean, there's so much to unpack, but that's like, I think the beautiful thing about Dolce Glow and Sunny Bay Skin, which is our other brand, is that it truly is a blood, sweat, and tears company that wasn't like I was just handed a check to like start this. I was put in foster care at the age of 7, and my biological mom had 5 daughters, and we were all put in different foster homes.
Wow.
And she was addicted to drugs and addiction, and there would be days where they would leave for 4 or 5 days and they would get high, and my sister and I would be left home alone, and we were eating dog food to survive. Like, it was insane. Like, we were just like these little girls that were just looking for food to eat, and so we would just find whatever we could. And at the age of 7, I had almost died of a bleeding ulcer because I was so malnourished from like eating dog food and whatever food we could find.
Yeah.
And then we were put into foster care, and which was in 1996, which is so insane. I feel like this is like, when I talk about it, I feel like it's like a whole nother life.
It feels like,
because it just feels so,
it's just so different from where
so
we're
different
at now.
It's so different. Like, when I talk about it, I'm like, I was that little girl. Sometimes it feels like I'm like just talking about someone else's story, because it feels so different from where I'm at today in my life. But, you know, then I go into foster care, and it started off great. And then unfortunately, the system also failed us. So my sister and I were abused every shape and form in our foster home. And at the age of 17, we decided to leave, and I started renting a room in a stranger's house for $300.
Oh my gosh. Were you living in California?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So pretty much born and raised in LA, and I left with the backpack and I started renting a room. I was working just every dead end job. But one thing I knew was that I always wanted to stay away from alcohol and drugs because it was so many generations of my family that had suffered from addiction and mental illness. And so I knew that I definitely wanted to stay away. And there was always like a spark in me that I was like, I can't be like my family. Like, I can't be like my foster parents. I can't be like my biological family. Like, I have to do something different. And I started going to college, and I was doing my undergrad. I wanted to be a psychologist and help other foster kids that maybe were going through similar things that I was going through. And then I got my first spray tan, and the rest was history.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so insane. I mean, so your sisters, you said there were 5 of you. And you guys all were put in separate foster care?
Yeah. So it's my older sister who unfortunately also died of addiction a few years ago, sadly.
I'm sorry.
And then I have another older sister that I just met her a few years ago, which I've never met her before. And it was really nice just like meeting her. I always knew she was there, but I had never met her.
Of course, because you were separated.
And then I have a twin sister, which I think that's the only way we survived was because like God gave me my twin. You know, like there's no way we would have made it out of our biological home and then our foster home if we didn't have each other. And so, and then I have another little sister. So my mom just kept having like babies. And I'm like, and I don't know if that's why I only have one daughter now. I think there's a little bit of like trauma for me that like in the back of my mind, like, what if this all fails? You know, like, am I going to be able to provide for her? You know, so I only have one, and she's an amazing, beautiful little girl. But my mom just kept having babies. And, you know, I can't imagine my life without my twin sister, though I truly feel and know that God gave me a twin because there's no way I could have survived my childhood without my twin.
Are you guys identical?
We're fraternal.
Okay.
We're fraternal. And she's so fun. And I'm like the more business, like very, you know, and she's just like the wild child. And I like have to will her in sometimes. Yeah. And she's super fun. She says I'm boring, but it's okay. I'm like, you know what? I might be boring, but I got my shit together.
Someone has to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like yin and yang. But yeah. So you were going to get a psychology degree?
Yeah. So I was in college to get my undergrad for psychology. And then my sister calls me over and she's like, hey, I'm going to get a spray tan. And I was like, well, I literally every week, this is like, we were so poor. So we literally would only shop at the 99-cent store. I wish they still existed, by the way. I love the Dollar Tree, but the 99-cent store I don't know, it's maybe just a comfort thing for me. Yeah. But every week I would put away $20 in a sock that was just my grocery money. And we'd go shop at the 99-cent store. And so I remember she called me, she's like, hey, it's like $60. And this is like now 17 years ago. I'm like, $65 for a spray tan. Like, that's insane.
That's crazy.
Yes, it was insane. And it took the girl like 10 minutes to do, right? Yeah. So then I was like, and I remember looking in my little fridge and I'm like, well, I got some TV dinners in there. Like, you know, I'm good for the week. So I gave my $20 to get this spray tan. And it's so crazy because I'll never forget like this spray tan, the way it made me feel.
Oh my gosh.
Not just like from, oh my gosh, like I've always been tiny, but I've always had a lot of cellulite on my legs that women were so hard, right? We pick out everything on our body. And so for me, I just never would wear dresses because of the way my legs would look. And I remember not only did my legs look better, like you could barely see the cellulite, I felt better on the inside. Like I felt like I could do anything in the world. Like the confidence it gave me was so... like I just couldn't explain it, which is like insane. And
no, it sounds crazy to say, but any woman or a man that has gotten a spray tan, a good one, knows exactly what you're talking about. It elevates your confidence. It makes you like stand up straight, walk into a room tall. Like I don't do anything important now, like without a spray tan.
Right. And it really can make or break your outfit, your confidence on the red carpet. Like, and so for me in that moment, I say it's more than just a spray tan. It changed my whole life. And I asked myself, if I wouldn't have gotten that spray tan, where would it be? Because I get the spray tan. And I was like, oh my gosh, like if I could make men and women feel amazing and make money at the same time, and it's a quick service, like it's checking off all the boxes, right? So then 2 years later, my husband and I had just gotten married. My daughter was born with the soy and protein allergy.
Okay.
So she had to be on a baby formula that you can only get it with the prescription. So it wasn't, we tried everyone that was like, you know, less protein and all the things, but then she needed to be on a prescription formula. And it was like $250 a week just for the formula. And we were so poor. Like we had nothing, literally a week, and insurance wouldn't approve it. Although we could only get it with the prescription, we were the only insurance that wouldn't approve this formula. So I'm like, we're poor. We were living in a 1-bedroom apartment. Loved that place. And it's just so dear to my heart still, but like we could barely get by. And then we get hit that we can't even afford formula for our daughter. And so I told my husband, like, I'm going to start spray tanning to make extra money. And we had like $2,000 saved. Like it was like our entire life savings. And I was like, I'm going to start spray tanning. And so I started spray tanning. And I remember like my first spray tan, like the girls were like leaving soaked, like they were like drenched, like the nightmare spray tans you see, you know?
You even, like, how did you look up like how to spray tan? Like Google?
So I actually ended up paying an instructor.
Okay.
And it was great, but I had wine and cheese for my friends, and she just drank and drank and drank the wine and handed me a spray tan gun. And I knew like nothing about spray tanning. Like, I didn't know what was it. I'm thinking it's like body makeup, right? Yeah, purple for this person, green. And like, I knew nothing about it. So I remember after the class, I felt like super defeated, and I had to like retrain myself. So I had to read about all the ingredients and all the stuff. But because like, I feel like when you come from a life like I've had, like there's never been a second option. Like it's always been like, I got to figure shit out.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have, like I just used our last money. Like, I'm not going to call this lady back again. Like I was just like, I'm going to figure this shit out just like I always do, you know? And so like 3 months in, I like perfected it. My poor husband had like stripes down his body. Like he was just like, you know, let's do it. And at that time, we only had one car. Again, we were living in a 1-bedroom apartment. He was working, he's an electrical engineer. So he would literally drive me to my spray tans till 2, 3 in the morning, when he had to be up at 5 in the morning, when my daughter would be in the back of the car seat, literally. And she was a baby. Like that's what we did. Like we were hustlers, like anything just to make an extra $50, an extra $60. And little did I know that within a year, like, I would get a call from Kylie Jenner, and then it was Kim, and then it was Selena Gomez. And it was like, I was like, what is like fucking happening? Like, this is insane. Like me, it's like that. Like you almost feel like because of your childhood that you're not capable of working with people at this caliber, right? You almost like second guess yourself. And I just remember like I started to see stuff change. And like my first year spray tanning, I made over $100,000 as a side business. I was working my full-time job, tanning at night, tanning a bunch of people for free. Like, and whether it was $20 tip, $200, like I was just trying to build.
So were you, when you first started doing it for that first year, it was strictly kind of based off of word of mouth?
Word of mouth. Yeah. It was just like me, like, again, because like I'm not scared of anything. Like I was like, worst case, people were going to say no, but I got a lot of yeses, and I must have been pretty good or had something that was different about me that they had an experience. And it was the formulas that I had my own formula at that point that no one had known about. So I was using my own that was so different. It didn't make you sticky or didn't smell. And so people were like, oh my gosh, like I'm not used to this. And just kept going from one thing to another. And then I start teaching spray tan classes because I was like, if I could change people's lives, like it changed my life. And now I've trained over 4,000 people.
But how, so this is the craziest part because you go, so you have your regular job, and then this is your side hustle. And then you really have no, I mean, you have no business being in this business because you don't know what you're doing. You just kind of make it work. So in the sense of you want to start training people or you want to start teaching people, like what does that look like from a business standpoint? Like, how did you know what to do or how to go about that?
I know it's so crazy. I have a tattoo down my back that says God's favor. Like, I'm a huge believer. Like, everyone, whatever they believe in, like for me, has been like faith and God. God has led me to the best people, the best opportunities, stuff that like you would never even have heard of that has happened. Like the people I've worked with, like the biggest, most influential people in the world, to people like you and I, you know, like it was always God, like sending the next best thing. I'm like, this isn't like a business, but like, this is not in my business plan. I didn't have a business plan. I didn't even know what a business plan was. I was just going like it was just like things just kept lining up. And I was like, oh my gosh, like God has something so much bigger planned for me. And I've always just stayed so true to my faith because I think about like the childhood and 17 years of like trauma and abuse, like foster kids, it's less than a 2% of kids that actually don't end up homeless or don't end up being addicted to drugs and alcohol, like less than 2%. And I'm like, I fucking made it.
That's bizarre.
Isn't that insane?
Statistic is bizarre.
And so I had all odds against me, all odds. But like for me, that's been like fuel. Like when people have said no, or to be like, no, it's not the right time. Like for example, we literally just launched in Sephora yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, thank you. God is so good. But going back to even that. So I started reaching out to Sephora in 2021. And I literally put all the emails, like I had emails and they're like, it's just not the right time. Like keep, stay in touch. And that could break people, right? Like people could be like, fuck it, I'm throwing in the towel. Like I'm not doing it.
I can't ask again.
I can't ask again. But one thing about me, I'm like, okay, I'm annoying them, but I know I have the best fucking product out there. Yeah. Like I know that this is where it's supposed to be. And then 5 years later, we launched in Sephora and we're in Ulta, we're in Nordstrom, and it's insane because most brands, like you don't really see a brand in both.
No.
And
it's
like
usually one or the other.
It's one or the other. So when I talk about God's favor, I'm like, what's happening in my life is not normal. It's not the playbook, like it. And you can't, like, even Bailey and I were talking about that on the way over here. I'm like, oh my God, like I've admired you for so long. Like we've built a relationship, like people, like these opportunities, like I'm so grateful for them. And I think that's another thing too. It's like staying super gracious and always in gratitude, where I think it's so easy in LA to get caught up in like stuff.
Something that's just amazing about you. And I think, of course, God has a plan for you and everything, but I don't think you give yourself enough credit.
Thank you.
You are like you said, you're spray tanning A-list celebrities, people that of the caliber that you would never even expect to come across. So when I even get to be tanned by you or by your people, you would assume it's like, oh, this is just like an influencer or someone smaller. Like you treat every single person the exact same way. And I think in return, that's just what you get back is the way that you treat people, people treat you. I'm
a huge believer in that. Like what you put out in this universe, like you get back. And I think that that's something that I've seen so much in like my career, my life, and my business. And I think your reputation is so important. I think your work ethic, I truly believe work ethic can't be taught. I think that when you're a good person, that is going to come back to you. And, I just sit here and I'm just like, I'm so grateful. Like I'm so grateful to just every person, including you, that has come in my life that have made so many opportunities that someone like me probably would have never even gotten. And so it's people like you that are changing my life. And I'm so grateful for that.
Oh, that's sweet.
I mean it. I really mean it.
Yeah, I know you do. That's why I'm like, you're like that. Something has to be wrong with you secretly because you're so nice and talented and like successful. I'm like, you're so sweet. Secret murderer.
No, that's so funny. No, but I will say though, I will fight for what I love till the end.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, guys, quick commercial break. So it's Way Day at Wayfair from April 25th through through April 27th, you can score the best deals in home, like up to 80% off with free shipping and everything. So Wayfair makes it easy to find exactly what fits your style, your needs, from furniture to decor to home improvement and outdoor essentials. And it's all on sale during Way Day. You can upgrade your space with quality pieces that work within your budget. And the best part, everything ships fast and free during Way Day. And everything is already cheap on Wayfair. So up to 80% off plus free shipping, and it ships really, really quickly. Plus, you can add Shop with Wayfair Verified, aka your shortcut. Their team of product specialists vets everything by hand using a 10-point quality inspection, so you know what you're getting. It's a quality piece, no matter your budget. Wayfair makes it simple to narrow down to exactly what works for your style and your budget. I'm moving again. Shocker. I am always moving. I'll be using Wayfair. I've already bought a new bedside table, and I got some like under bed storage stuff because New York City doesn't have a closet in sight. So Way Day is the sale to shop the best deals in home. We're talking up to 80% off with fast and free shipping on everything. So head to wayfair.com April 25th through the 27th to shop Way Day. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. Let's get back to the episode. So you, back to like the formula.
Yeah.
You created your own formula from scratch. How, like you're a chemist, like how the hell did you do that?
It's so crazy because I remember in my first few months walking into a lot of these celebrities' homes, they're like, is your formula going to make me sticky? Is it going to make me smell? Like, is it going to be streaky? Right. And so I kept hearing the same thing. And like the first 2 months, I didn't have my own formula. But something told me, so I just started researching labs, like on Google, and I came across one and I called them and I was like, hey, like, will you bet on me? Like, I can't afford thousands of gallons, but I promise you one day, like, this will be huge. I need to make something that isn't sticky, doesn't smell, and feels amazing and is good for your skin. And I remember it was like the first sample we got. Like normally you go through 30 different iterations of stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is it. So that was like our first at-home professional one, which is the one that goes in the spray tan guns. And then it was like, hey, well, I don't have access to spray tan artists in my area. I want to look like this celeb. I want to look like this celeb, or I want that glowy skin. Can you even tell it's a spray tan? And so that's what led me to now creating the at-home self-tanners. And we actually own those formulas, which I think it's anybody can launch a product. And I think there's a lot of products out there that are private labeled, and which there's nothing wrong about that. But I also think for me, I knew it was going to be something so big. And I knew, like, I just knew in my gut, like they always say, like, trust your gut instinct. I knew I needed to work with the chemist. And so we ended up bringing in a chemist and we bought those formulas straight out and paid literally, I can make them anywhere in the world now.
Oh, wow.
I could take them to United States, Australia, Mexico, and be like, here's my tech transfer. This is how you bake it. This is where you source the ingredients from. This is where you buy it from. So we actually have full protection over our formulas.
So that's probably the smartest decision you've ever made.
Smartest. And I can't tell you, like, even like with investors and stuff, as we continue to raise capital and all the fun things with our business, which raising capital, by the way, to any founder, I don't know how you do it because it's the thing I hate the most is it's like, it's super hard raising capital. But the one thing I get asked is like, do you own your formulas? Because once there is an opportunity for an acquisition, maybe L'Oreal one day, or who knows, might have Dolce Glow in their portfolio or Sunny Bay, that's a huge asset for them, right? Because a lot of times they want to know, do you own these formulas? Or are we going to have trouble reproducing these products? And that was one thing that we knew we needed to invest money in. It's not cheap, but it was probably the smartest decision I ever made. So if there's anybody listening, I say, make sure you have some sort of ownership over those formulas.
Yeah, for sure. So how did you turn it into at-home tan? Like, was that one of the harder things that you had to do within this whole entire journey?
The at-home is so hard because of the packaging. Like, you can do like our professionals in gallons and it doesn't need to be super pretty, but like the at-home, it's being displayed at Ulta, it's being displayed at Sephora.
Yeah. How big was your team at this point?
So at this point, it was my husband and I and one other person.
Wow. So it was still like ground level.
So this was now 6 years ago. So no, actually I'm lying to you, 7 years ago. So I started spray tanning 11 years ago, and 7 years ago was when we started to really rally up. And so there was like only 3 of us. And then we brought in, it's really a family business. Like everybody that works with us, we're either best friends, cousins, brothers. And so it's been special for me being able to bring in like our family to build this together. I just feel like there's one thing when people care about you, it's like a different, like I've had this same team since we started. So we built it, you know, a few years into that. And so now there's like almost 15 of us, which is great. But it's all people that are so near and dear to me. I've always had that, like, if God has given me these blessings and I can take care of my family and they just work so much harder too, because they actually care. And we gave them skin in the game too. Like we granted them with stock and equity, and a lot of companies don't do that, you know? And so we're like, no, we want you to feel valued enough to where you own a piece of this company.
Wow, that's incredible.
Thank you.
And to go from 3 people to 15 now, I mean, how long did it take for you? So your idea was, I want to get this spray tan in stores. I want to get it in a bottle. How long did it take for that idea to take off and actually get into a store?
It was, so Nordstrom was our first retailer that we launched with, and they actually came to me directly, which was so unheard of too. Again, like normally people go through agencies and they pay commissions to these agencies just to get an email. It's hard getting into retail because they're getting presented millions of brands a day. But it was almost a 2-year process just to be able to like get the formulas like compliant. We do crazy testing on all of our self tanners and our products. So dermatologists tested on sensitive skin, PET testing, stability testing. We do perception survey testing, outside individual clinical testing. So we invest a lot. And so those tests take a lot of time. And so although some of these tests aren't required, which is really crazy to me, we invested in that. And so it was almost like a 1.5 to 2 years before we actually were able to like bottle it, put it in the stores. And then comes the next step. You know, people think, oh, you get into Nordstrom, you get into Sephora, you get into Ulta. It gets harder. It gets harder and harder and harder because you're constantly having to sustain the business. One thing is to get in, but how do you sustain? And that's what I think our team has done so well at doing.
Yeah. In those beginning phases, like once you finally get your foot in the door and you're there, are you really even making much money? Are you breaking even? Are you losing money? So in the beginning, for most beauty brands, it takes a few years to stabilize and become profitable because it's so heavy on inventory. Like you're spending a lot of money. But what people don't realize is although a retailer can present you terms, they'll say, hey, I want 57% discount or 55% or 60% discount. Everything, and I tell my team this all the time, everything is negotiable. You never accept the first offer, and you can go into why you're not going to accept the first offer. So there's so many things where people are like, oh my gosh, I'm in, like, yes, let me sign. And we did that the first time around, but now you learn and you like come in your power. And there's people don't tell you this stuff because there's so much gatekeeping. I feel like people want to help you to an extent, but they don't want to tell you. Like no one tells you that you can negotiate your terms down, or you can get it cheap, or you can like how much people can return. You can put a cap on that. There's like so many things that people gatekeep, and I'm so grateful that we've learned. We've made the mistakes, but now it's like there's so much negotiating power to where it takes a while to become profitable, but in beauty it is one of the most profitable businesses, as we've seen so many companies get acquired. Oh my gosh, I know.
And that money, and so for us too, it's been beautiful because we bring in key people, whether it's friends and family of ours that had invested in the brand later. My husband and I charged up every credit card to fund our first purchase order. We couldn't even afford groceries, but we're like, it's going to hit. The credit cards were declining the week of groceries. Like we did that. And then it just started to get too big to where we needed to bring in outside investors to continue to fund, but it's a huge opportunity for them too. So, you know, I think that there's also beautiful things. Some people say, don't do investors. I fully believe if you have the right group of investors, it's only going to help you just continue to elevate.
Okay. Were there any things that you did in the beginning that you regret or you wish you hadn't, like now with the more experience that you have and you know?
Yeah, I think, you know, there's one thing on the top of my mind that you get so excited about certain things, and you're like, oh, this sounds amazing, and you get promised the world and all the things. And then years go by and you're like, oh my gosh, like I was really excited about that, but it really wasn't didn't end up turning out to be what I thought it would be. So there's things that I knew in my gut I probably shouldn't have done. And like you fight that gut so much that you're like, you know what, it's okay, it's great. And then so I always tell people like now, because I have had those mistakes to where have been very costly for our business. But it's the beautiful thing about being an entrepreneur is you don't have all the answers. You're going to make mistakes. But now I can help another, you know, entrepreneur in business to be like, hey, I made this mistake. Like, I'm letting you know, like, you know, this is what happened to us. Maybe look at another option. So I think the biggest thing that I've learned is like, take everything with a grain of salt. Like you're going to get promised like the world sometimes, and just like take days, take weeks to think about those decisions. And it's funny that one time that like, I was like, no, it's fine. I knew in my gut it really wasn't. And I ignored that, and it ended up becoming a very expensive decision for our company. And I don't even want to say a mistake. It was a learning curve for us, but that's the beautiful thing about being an entrepreneur is that it's only going to make you stronger. And hopefully I could be that person to someone else that might be launching a brand to be like, hey, I made this mistake. Like, don't do this, or negotiate that, or talk about this. So,
okay. Yeah. That, I mean, there's so much that goes into starting a business, one. And for you, you really had no education in it, which I would assume would be very intimidating, especially going into, it was just you three at one point going into these rooms full of people that are very intimidating. How did you kind of have the confidence to stand in front of those people and pitch your ideas?
You know what? I think it goes back to my childhood. Yeah. Like I had been through, like we were like wolves. Like we were just trying to survive. That like I wasn't fucking scared. Like I didn't fucking care.
Like what's there to lose?
I was like, at this point, like I've been at the lowest of the lowest. Like eating dog food to survive, like not having food, not having money. I know how it feels to walk to school without having underwears on because my family couldn't afford underwears, or, you know, knocking on my neighbor's door to ask for food because my mom and dad were out getting high somewhere. And it's crazy because my dad actually had the biggest rock band in the 1990s. And yeah, like very, very famous rock band, which is pretty insane.
Oh my gosh.
And so
we can bleep it. What was the rock band?
So it was Angelus.
Okay.
And he actually opened up with like Motley Crue and all that, which is insane. It's just the whole thing is like so wild. So we haven't talked to him in, I don't know, 18 years, probably like 18, 20 years. Wow. But like, I think for me, it's so crazy to like I've never been scared. Like, I actually think I've gotten more scared like in the last 6 months because it's like growing.
It's really growing.
It's like, this is like the peak. Like, it's rare for you to be in both Ulta and Sephora, and now to see how excited Sephora is, and then Ulta. And we don't just have one brand, we have two brands now. And that other brand is doing so well too. So I think I was back then, I'm like, I have nothing to lose. Like, I've been at the lowest of the lowest. Like, literally, I've been through every sort of abuse that no child should ever have to go through. Like, shit can't get worse than this. Like, I know how it feels to be a rock bottom. Not because I put myself there, because I was born into that. And so, you know, it's like, it's one thing to, again, I remember knocking on my neighbor's doors at like 6 years old. I would knock on my neighbor's doors and ask them if they had any food because we were starving.
Oh my gosh.
Like, we couldn't find our parents. Like, they'd be gone, like, again, getting high for 3-5 days. We didn't even know where they were. So it was like two little girls by themselves. And we were literally eating at neighbors' houses and hoping somebody would feed us.
That is incredible to go from that to where you're at. And it's so inspiring too. And it also kind of is like a wake-up call to anyone that's scared to do things or feel like their problems are bigger. Or, you know, it's like, if you can do it, don't be scared and just get in that room.
You just have to do it. Like, you're only going to hold yourself back by not knowing. And so, and I think so many of my like people on my team now, they come from similar upbringings to my husband and I. Like he also was raised in a household that wasn't the greatest, and he had a really hard upbringing. And so many of our team members also come from broken households or, lived very poor growing up. And so I think that that's why our team is so strong, is because we're all kind of built from the same cloth.
You have grit, yeah.
You have and that can't be taught. I always say like that work ethic can't be taught. You either have it or you don't. And I just think like you just have to go for it. Like, and it's like, I think a lot of times, like I could sit here and I'm like, I don't look at myself as a victim. Like I'm a fucking survivor. Like, and I am going to build the biggest self-tanning brand in the world because that's all I know. That's all I know. Like there's no plan B for me. It's like, if this is my world.
It's your plan.
It's my plan. And I've come so far that at this point, like nothing, like, again, this year's been more the frightening year because it's like we're playing with the big people. We're getting the big investment dollars. And so that's like a little bit. But just when I think, oh my gosh, like, is this it? It gets better and it gets better. So I'm just like, I just sit here in just so much gratitude to where I'm just like, I'm going for it. Like I've come way too far to like look away, or turn away.
And you're also, it's so crazy because you had Dolce Glow, which is so successful and it's wildly popular and it's so amazing. And then you decided we're going to make Sunny Bay, which is just as amazing. I use it all the time. I love it. And it's more affordable.
It is.
Which is really cool that you decided to step into that market as well. What was kind of the thought process behind that?
Yeah. And that was something for me. So Dolce Glow obviously has been known as a celeb favorite, right? Because I was a celebrity spray tan artist. I still am a celebrity spray tan artist. But for me, I thought about myself leaving my foster home at 17, like getting my first spray tan around 19 years old. I could barely afford an at-home self-tan spray tan service. And so I always told myself that if I could launch a second brand and be able to give back to that foster child like me that couldn't afford anything, that couldn't even afford to feed my baby, but still wanted to look at and have something in a price-conscious arena, I promised myself that I would do it. And so there was the idea, like Dolce Glow has all the bells and whistles, you're anti-aging, it's a luxury, like you just feel that in the bottle. But I was like, what about that college girl? My daughter's a cheerleader. She has a self-tan for every spray competition, but they don't want to spend, they might not be able to, and maybe if they can, they might not want to because they're doing it so often. So I was like, how do we create a formula? We know how to make great formulas, which is what we know how to do best, but maybe it doesn't need all the anti-aging. Maybe it doesn't need, maybe that, high school girl or that college girl just wants something that's hydrating, that doesn't stink, isn't sticky. They're like, I just want it to look good. I don't care about anti-aging right now. I'm 18, 23, 25 years old. And so we looked at ways we can cut back. And so what we did was we focused on marine beauty and Sunny Bay Skin, which is just algae, which algae actually help hydrate the skin. And they also help revitalize your skin cells. Well, that's what you need for a long lasting tan. So I was like, boom, this is it. And so the beach has always been a place for me where I go and pray and meditate. And so we did marine beauty. And so for every bottle that we do, we, not just monetary, but we'll go out and we'll clean up the beach 1 to 2 times a year with our team. So we do beach cleanups. We try to give back to the ocean. So it's like a brand with a purpose. And so it was just like a promise to myself that if I had the opportunity to create a second option, because people are at different places in their self-tanning journey, right? There's people that want to start at the top, but there's people that are like, oh, I don't know if I want to spend $40 on self-tanner. Well, Sunny Bay could be that entry point for them. It's not sticky. It doesn't smell. It's amazing. It's made by Dolce Glow. And, give them that option first. And like people have different, it's like makeup. You might have under eye concealer that you're like, oh, I bought this at the drugstore, and then you use a great serum, and so you're using a little bit of everything. And so we just wanted to give that girl that was like myself an opportunity to feel just as beautiful at a price conscious price point, and we did that, and people are loving Sunny Bay, and that's available at all Ulta stores, so which is amazing.
Oh my God, it's just there's so much, which is so crazy.
So much.
All right, guys, quick commercial break. Summer's around the corner, and there's still time to look your best, to feel your best, and you can do it at Planet Fitness. I think when it comes to working out, it can be really stressful because you can't find somewhere that's open when you need it. You can't find a location near you, and you can't find somewhere affordable because these gyms are crazy. Not with Planet Fitness. So most locations are open 24 hours. Insane, amazing. So whatever schedule you have, you can work with it at Planet Fitness. $15 a month membership, and there's over 2,800 locations. So you're bound to be near a Planet Fitness, and you're also bound to have an hour of the day, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, to go work out. They have everything that you need. They have plate-loaded strength machines. They have free body weights. They have anything. And it's not an intimidating place. It's just a place where everyone wants to go, to look good, to feel good. And we're all strong in this planet. So you can join today in club, online, or in the free Planet Fitness app. Hours, amenities, and offers vary by club. So you can check out planetfitness.com or stop by your local club for more information. You must be 18 years old to enroll, or 13 to 17 with a parent/guardian. Let's get back to the episode.
With that, now that you're in Sephora, how has kind of what is your day-to-day? Like, how has that changed for you now that everything has kind of gone so big?
I was telling Bailey, shout out to my best friend. She's also my chief marketing officer. Hi, Bailey. It's so amazing to work with people you love. And so like, I don't think I would be able to get through my business without working with my best friend. Simple as that. But I was talking to Bailey, and we were looking at just the response from Sephora, which is so insane. So we launched in Ulta, and Ulta is an amazing partner. Love Ulta. Like, amazing, their team. And then once like, I'm not even gonna say this, but someone from the Sephora team had meant, like, they don't take normally Ulta brands. Like, it's
like a separate thing.
It is like, you know, and like whether people shop at Ulta or Sephora. And I'm like, but you have to have Dolce Glow. You have to have Dolce Glow. And I always knew, because of just the Sephora clientele, we knew it belonged there. And
half
so
the people that have brands at Sephora get tanned by Dolce Glow.
It's funny. I ran into Makeup by Mario yesterday, and obviously was Kim's makeup artist, still does Kim's makeup when he can, and ran into him, and he's like, Isabel, and it was so nice seeing him because around the same timing. I mean, he had been working with Kim for a long time before that, but our paths had crossed, and I had tanned him few years ago, and he's like, this is the best self tanner. So yesterday I'm at Sephora Summit, and he's like, I'm tanned in Dolce Glow, and that was like such a moment for me, but and so now entering into Sephora, I'm like, I don't know if it's just the way people look at Sephora, like the it girl. I think so. Like, I can't put my finger on it. That's where Mia wants to shop.
When you're like, I just look back at like middle school.
Right.
And it's like, oh my gosh, my mom will give me $20 to go to Sephora, and you're shopping in the Sephora collection.
Exactly.
But it's still like, you want to be able to go to Sephora one day and spend.
And so for us, like, our socials have been insane. Like, even just the organic, like, people are so excited about Sephora. I'm like, Bailey, like, I have never seen anything like this with just the authentic, but I also think it comes to people have seen me build this brand from the ground.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, the Dolce Glow and Sunny Bay story is a true founder-led, self-made brand.
And you can watch the whole journey unfold. It doesn't feel random. Like,
no,
you had a bunch of random investors. You got
exactly, and that investors came years later.
Yeah.
Vinny and I, again, we had sharks calling us and turning off our cards because we couldn't even buy groceries the last week because our credit cards were declining. I'm like, this is a true self-made story. Like, I always tell people, I'm like, it's amazing if dad helped you fund it or whatever.
Yeah,
a lot of my clients, have just so much access to, whether it's monetary, and they get a straight $4 million check to start their brands. And that's amazing. I'm like, oh my gosh. But there's something so special when you built it with the story that we have.
Of course.
And that's, I think, why people love Dolce Glow and Sunny Bay, is they know the story. I'm still out spray tanning till 2 a.m.
I know.
You know. And it's like,
it's like 2 a.m. at Palm Springs.
If I can't, I'll send someone else. But like, literally, I was at Kim's house the other night, and it's like, I hadn't seen Kim in a few months, and being able to still go in and connect with people that have had it. They, you know, Kim and all of them, the way they've supported me through the years, like I'm so grateful. Kris Jenner, Kylie, like they've had so much of an impact in my career. And I always give credit to them because they really have supported so much of Dolce Glow's growth. But like, I think it's a certain community that we've built, and it's people. I think now that's why founder-led brands are doing really well. I think too, because I think it's great when you have amazing celebs with their brands and everything, but sometimes there feels like there's a little bit of a disconnect, right? But
For sure.
when you see someone, and I share everything, right? I'm like, just landed from Sephora, and now I'm going to go tan at 2 a.m, and I got to be up at 5 a.m. Like I still get shit
your
done.
Daughter to
I literally cheer practice and the
competition.
cheer
I'm like,
comps,
how?
you know?
When do you sleep?
So it's just like, you know, it's just crazy how all of this like has fallen into place. And now it's people are like, why are you still doing spray tan classes? Because it changed my life. And it reminds me every time I teach someone, it reminds me of myself sitting in that chair and how it changed my life. I'm like, I want to change their life. And for $1,500 for our spray tan class, like to make 100,000, or what you put into is what you're going to get out of it, right? So it could be less, it could be more, but you could be a stay-at-home mom and put your baby down for a nap, do 3 spray tans, you just made an extra $200. Like that's $800 a month.
There was these girls in my college that started their own little spray tan business. They paid tuition.
Yes.
I was like, oh my gosh.
It's I always say, and the beautiful thing, you don't have to be an esthetician. You don't need to be a cosmetologist. If it's like our classes are $1,500 and it includes your spray tan machine, it includes a tent, it includes like everything you need to start. So like the startup costs are less than $2,000. You pay that off really quickly. You can do mobile tans, $150, $200. And so when people are like, I need a second job, I'm like, spray tan because it's quick, it's easy, you're in and out. And so that's why I love doing classes too. It's because when I see these students sit there and I'm hearing that I've trained attorneys, I've trained doctors, nurses.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. They're like, I'm tired. We just had someone that came in and took my class this week, and she's an emergency room nurse.
Oh my gosh.
She's like, Isabel, like I want to get in beauty. Like I want to have girl time.
Yeah.
And so like, it's not even like a certain person anymore. Like there's people that just want something for themselves. I've had stay-at-home moms that literally don't even have to, you know, do anything in their lives because their husbands do so well. And they're like, I just want to like have girl time and spray tan my friends. And, you know, they're like, I don't even care about the money. And so I think that's why like our spray tan classes, we do them also in Zoom or we'll do them in person, have done so well. It's because it's given people like this extra cash. And it's like, you could be in and out in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
It's bizarre. I mean, the empire that you've built and are continuing to build
Thank you.
is so inspiring. And like you said, it's not just a $4 million check and here you go. There's no disconnect from it.
No.
And I think that's why, I wanted to have you on the podcast because it's so inspiring. Most people, all people watching this, we're just normal people, probably with ambitions and goals just like you had, coming from nothing or having, you know, not the check from their dad. So to hear your story is really inspiring. And I'm just so happy that you came on. Is there any advice you would give anyone watching right now that wants to start their own business?
You need to fucking do it.
Yeah.
You need to do it. Like people, I talk to people all the time and they're like, I'm scared, I'm nervous. That's normal. If you're not uncomfortable, there's something that's not right. Like if you're like, you're going to be uncomfortable, you're going to be nervous, but you won't know what's on the other side unless you try it. And I feel like we say that so much. We hear that, just try it. But like I had nothing in my corner, nothing. I didn't have a check. I didn't have the perfect childhood. I didn't have any of that. Everything was experience. Yeah. I don't have my MBA. Like I literally spoke at Harvard last year, business school. And I'm like, I come from the boondocks. Like I don't have any, like, you know, other than self-taught and self-made. And I've read and I've learned and I've listened. And so if there's anybody out there that's like, shit, I'm like, you need to do it. Like it's your time, go for it. Because if you don't do it, someone else will. That's the thing. And so I hear that a lot from like people that take my class. They're like, I didn't want to take your class because I just had a friend do it. I'm like, there's a study that says 60% of women have never tried a spray tan, but would be willing to try a spray tan. It would take over 280,000 years to be able to spray tan all the women that now would be interested. So there's so much opportunity in this business. And also we know about skin cancer. People are getting skin cancer. We're having big celebrities come out every day and saying, stop laying out in the sun. This is a healthy alternative so they don't have to lay out in the sun. So if you're thinking about any business, I'm like, just do it. Like you won't know until you try it. You know, and it doesn't matter your circumstances, doesn't matter your life. It doesn't matter, you know, like every person has their story. Mine's a little different, but your story is what's going to make you so unique. And I always tell my students, don't be afraid to share your story. Like in today's world where things are so hard and you have so many makeup brands and skincare brands, which is the great thing about self-tanning. You don't have a lot of great brands out there, you know, we knew that's why we launched Sunny Bay, was because there wasn't anything at that lower price point that was really good. But like, you just like have to do it. Like, and if unless you know, you're never going to, you know.
Were there any resources that really helped you get through the beginning of kind of learning how to run a business? Like, were there any lifelines for you that you would suggest to people like trying to start a business?
So one, I talk about this more and more. My mental health needed to get better. So like coming from, again, the stuff that I went through and the trauma and the abuse, not just verbal, physical, sexual, all the things, I knew I needed to heal first. I knew that there was something bigger for me on the other side. But I think if you are in a similar situation like me, like I went through 12 years of therapy.
Wow.
12 years. And I'm not talking once a month. I'm talking 2 to 3 times a week where I would literally just go and cry in my therapist's office and not even say a word. And I just needed to cry. I remember towards the end of my 12th year with the same therapist, she had a stack of notes of this big of everything I had gone through because they document everything. And I remember she's like, I think you need to be on an antidepressant. And I was like, I can't get addicted to medication. Like it runs in my family. Like I'm terrible about becoming an addict. Like my mother, my grandmother, it was 3 generations of addiction. It started with my mom. And then my grandmother became an addict because my mom drove her crazy. And then my older sister. So it was like 3 generations of addiction in our family. And I was like, I can't be on medication. And she looked at me and she's like, why is it okay if you have a heart problem, you get on medication? You have a cholesterol problem, you get on medication. But why is it not okay to get on medication when you have an imbalance in your mental health? I'll never forget that. And when she said that to me, I felt free. I was like, you are so right.
There's such
like
a stigma around
there is.
antidepressants.
And I've been on an amazing antidepressant that has helped me because I suffer from generalized anxiety. How could you not when you just 17 years of chaos in your life? And that changed my life. And if I wouldn't have gotten on that medication, got through the therapy, there's no way I would have a successful business. Like you truly, and I felt like through the business, I don't know if it was also a scapegoat for me. Like I feel like with my sister, she had a little wild period for her. But for me, I think the way I like handled my stress was through business. Like I'm obsessed with work. Like I'm a geek. Like I put my energy in that. But like for me, if I didn't deal with my mental health, like, and don't get me wrong, like there's days where like I literally just want to not talk to anyone for 3-4 days. And like I won't talk to Bailey or whoever, and I'm like, I just can't answer a text. Like I'm just like, there's still days that I suffer from, you know, moments of depression, and you just don't know why you feel that way. You're like, everything's great in my life, but I'm just not feeling my best. And then you take a few days, and I listen to myself. Like I'm like, I just need a few days away from everyone, and then I jump back right back in. But I think it's also beautiful to have an amazing husband that is the best frickin' husband in the world. Like I come home every morning, I have coffee by my bed, my bath's turned on, he picks up my daughter, takes her to cheer. Like there's nothing my husband won't do for me.
Yeah, a stable partner.
And that was a huge thing for me too, was being in a healthy relationship. Because if I wasn't, I don't know where my life would be. And I now this year will be married 14 years.
That's amazing.
And my daughter is going to be 11 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you're in Sephora.
I'm in Sephora and Ulta and like it's just
everywhere.
Like,
yeah.
Holy shit. Like I'm like, pinch me.
I know, it's incredible.
You
truly.
know?
And I think it's just, I mean, it really just is the beginning. Like you're saying, now you're nervous for the first time or scared, which is exciting. It's like
exciting.
Feelings that you really haven't felt before. And I can't wait to watch it all unfold.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
and like you're a part of our story though. Like I think about years ago and I've always known, like, I just want you to know too, like you are so special to me. And I think I've been able to see you through so many moments of your life. And phases, and to see you today and the elevation in your life, and you've been through some really hard stuff, and look at you, like it's your face, like I told you today, you're glowing, but like I'm just so proud of you. Like I'm so proud of you. And I know we've talked about days where we're just like, I just don't want to get out of bed and I'm just so tired, but it's okay to acknowledge that because we're not living in easy times. And, you know, I think it's to stop and take a few days to reset is okay too. But
yeah, listen to yourself, advocate for yourself for sure.
Which is so insane.
Yeah.
But
and then you can end up like, just seriously, you inspired me. Now I'm like, we have to go start a business now.
Yes, let's do it.
Like,
or
literally.
Brianna, you can invest in Dolce Glow.
Yes,
we already
I'm
did all the
there.
work. We'll work for your money. Isabel will work for your money.
Yes, this is a good person to invest
I'm like,
in.
shout out you guys. I'm like, listen, it's so funny because our investors that we do have currently are so great. And they're like, I'm investing in you. And I'm like, well, one thing about me is I don't sleep and I will work really hard for your money.
It's bizarre,
so if there is a fund that is listening, like
Right
Dolce
here.
Glow.
Actually.
Oh my
But if you
gosh.
guys haven't tried Dolce Glow yet, every tan, everyone always asks me what I get tan. Every single time it's Dolce Glow.
Dolce Glow?
If it's not with you, there's a Dolce Glow
artists in your
New York.
area
Yeah.
or spray tan classes or Sunny Bay.
Sunny Bay too. That's what
so
I use on
good.
TikTok, and it is cheaper, and it's
It
like,
is.
it's
so
essentially the same thing, just not as elevated.
exactly.
You know?
And you know what? That's okay. You might not want anti-aging and all this stuff. You're just like, I want something that isn't sticky and smells, that doesn't stink. Sunny Bay's your girl, and it's all under $32, which is amazing.
Insane.
Also, we have our, our little exclusive for Sephora. It's our self-tanning mist that has gone like super viral, but we just launched a darker shade. So you can only get it at Sephora. I just wanted to throw that in there. It's so freaking, you can use it, the misters, but you can use it as a setting spray over your makeup.
Ooh.
And you can use it under your makeup, and you can use it a part of your night routine. And it's what I have on my face.
Love. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go check it out. And also, if you want to just follow along her journey, be inspired, like go follow Isabel. It's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
for coming
much.
on. You're
I'm
the best.
so grateful. Thank you guys so much. I love you. You're
Love
the best.
you. Bye, guys.
Bye.